welcome back to Stats and Tats. This is Dr. Joe with another 2-minute tutorial. Today's chat is going to be about direct correlation. So there's a previous video rather, about correlation in general. Let's talk about just direct correlation. So to begin with, as you probably know, correlation is designated by an R value. It stands for the correlation coefficient, a lowercase r, and this lowercase r can actually range from -1 to 1. It will never be outside of that range, -1 to 1. Today we're going to be focusing on an R value that falls between 0 and 1. If the R value for the correlation is a positive number between 0 and 1, that is going to represent a positive, or what I prefer to call a direct correlation. Right? What this means essentially is that both of the variables, the x and the y, are actually moving in the same direction. That's why I prefer to call it a positive, direct correlation rather than positive. Right? So if both variables are going up, for example, the larger engine, the more horsepower we'll get, right? Or the larger the engine, the faster the car tends to be, okay? We also know that the opposite is true. The lower the engine size, the lower the power tends to be. Likewise, the lower the engine size, the lower top speed the car might have. In this case, both are direct correlations. They're both moving directly up or both moving directly down. And with a direct correlation, it does not, once again, mean causation. It just means that the variables are trending in the same direction. The more time you spend studying, the better your exam scores should be. The more attendance you have for a course, the better your final grade should be in the course. And when we think about a direct correlation, as I said, we're talking about trends. Obviously, trends have exceptions. So for example, I'm standing in front of my Ford Bronco. Its engine is actually not particularly big. It's actually a rather small engine. It's a V6. But it's a twin turbo. That twin turbo component increases the horsepower. So just because we're talking about these correlations does not mean they're set in stone. As we've said from the beginning, correlations are nothing more than statistical trends.